Hi, it's Danny. Welcome to this video, welcome to this channel, and if you're returning, welcome back. Deep gratitude to you for joining me today. So what are we doing today? Well, we are in my Zequenz A6 Plus bullet journal to set up December. Yes, 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 I know. It is December 1st. I am doing this voiceover December 1st. I recorded this last night, and it was because I was waiting in vain for my Sterling ink December subscription box that never came because I did not change my credit card in time to set it up. Long story short, I messed up, yada yada yada. Here we are. So I am just I sped it up because the video ended up being 40 minutes long, and I also got real dark with the stuff that I was saying last night. I was in a mood. I was in a funk. You know what it is? I've been working out, and I didn't get to run yesterday because it was raining cats and dogs up in here in Connecticut, and I was just in a mood like, plans askewed. So, voiceover, shortening up or speeding up the video, and we're gonna just reset. So, right now, I'm showing you my November pages and how I set up my November pages with the Sterling ink. I've been so obsessed and fixated with the Sterling ink subscription box because honestly, it has been the only stickers that I've purchased in the last, I want to say 6 months. One, I'm really proud of that because you saw how I was having unboxings every other day. Um, my husband's also happy with that, by the way. So I've been using stickers. I also have backup stickers from Paper Minty Studio, but for the most part, in this sequence book, I have been only using Sterling ink for the most part. Um, so I didn't get my subscription box. I messed up, didn't order in time, so I just put in an order like when I realized I'd done messed up. And so they just shipped it last night. So I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna get it in time. So I am setting up what I have is like leftover stickers from a previous subscription box from like September, and I have a crap ton of vellum. So I was just gonna use old stuff from like I think it was a September box, which I love. Granted, it's not Christmas-y, Yule time, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa themed, but right now when I look out my window, all I see is leaves on our yard because we didn't rake the leaves. We are so like bad with this like homeownership so far. Like we're sitting on like less than half an acre, a little less than half an acre, and we move the leaves to the side because there's like huge trees between properties, so we just move the tree to the side. And so in other words, all I see is like leaves everywhere, and I'm just gonna like rock with this whole leave situation with this December theme. So you see me flipping back and forth because I like uniformity because I'm a Virgo, and I'm showing you my beautiful ruler that I love that I got from Jet Pens like years ago for like $2.99. Thank you, Jet Pens. So in the first page within my setup for the month, what I do is I do a little monthly tracker, and I take like little notes on like daily randomness. I'm not gonna get into details because some of it's personal. Like I track things with my husband and with my cats, and sometimes I keep on it. Like the bullet journal since like I want to say April has been off and on for me. Like I would come back, I would stop. I would come back, I would stop. So my October pages, which I think I will show you in this video, I am not sure. I literally did like maybe I want to say 6 pages in October of my bullet journal. The tracker is empty. Um I think I did 1 week. I don't know. It's not great. So um I'm trying to be more on it because part of my mental health or my journey to be more healthy mentally is really engaging my coping skills. Like in Virginia, I was on it. I want to continue that method of, taking care of myself because the older I get, and I'm just watching so many people suffer with sometimes preventable diseases. I mean, sometimes not. And I just think this is a brief candle. Like, I feel like yesterday was 2002. That was literally 20 years ago. There are people who are born like 21 years ago who could like drink, and I was just getting out of college. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that. So I'm thinking I got to take care of myself. So I want to do everything in my in my power to be as healthy as possible. If it's preventable, God willing, let it be preventable. I'm gonna help. You gotta show the work. So, like math. Do you remember in math class they'd be like, you gotta show the work or you don't get full credit? Do they still do that? I hear they messed up the whole how they teach kids how to do math. Like, parents can't help their kids because they do like a whole new thing. God bless y'all parents. Honestly, y'all are the real heroes in this world. So that'll never be me because I'm not a parent. But I digress. So I'm setting up this calendar. I of course counted out 3 box no lies 4 boxes down and 3 boxes across for so Monday to Sunday. It's always a Monday start. Hello. And I did the most because I added way too many lines. I didn't have a December calendar in front of me because I am special. So I'm just, you're seeing me line it up. I'm using my Villa Beautiful pen. I have no, I promise you, I do not know the name of that pen. Um, I should give you the name because if you're interested, it might still be on the website. I was looking at Villa Beautiful, mind you. Okay, so in Virginia, I'm talking a mile a minute. I had some green tea, some matcha tea. I am litty. So okay, so I ordered a crap ton of pens before we left Virginia. Don't ask me why. I think I was still on the Abilify high. Yeah, I'm talking junk about antidepressant. Don't mind me. Anyhow, so I bought a whole bunch of pens in a short amount of time, and I have no idea what they're named. But the funny thing is, when I went on Ville Beautiful yesterday, last night, because I was in a mood, I noticed that a lot of the pens that I purchased months ago are still on site. In fact, they're at a discount. So I should find the name of the pen, long story short. So I'm numbering the calendar, and I actually was talking and writing numbers without messing up. You know, usually, I don't know if you guys have watched these previous videos before, but I'm like, I'm gonna mess up the numbers because I'm talking at the same time. I actually didn't do it. But then again, I think I was in a ranty mood, so I was super laser focused. Yeah, I'm actually doing this voiceover while I'm at work. I have the privilege, the fortune, the luck, the grace, the blessings to work from home. Um, and I got my mouse jiggling jiggling. I'm not gonna tell you the company I work for, so you can't tell on me for not doing my job right now. I'm gonna make up the work. I always make up the work. We're gonna have our annual review. I am nervous as all get out because July was like such a laggy month for me. I only submitted like 3 documents in 30 days and I had a talking to. I was just like, ooh. I was like, I told my manager, we're never going to have this conversation again. And I made sure that we have not had that conversation again. That happened in August. We're now in December. Today's December 1st. So I am rocking hard. Hopefully, I have a good review. I need a raise. I don't need it. I want it. Um, what else has been going on? So, yeah, we bought a house. I mentioned that in the last video. I didn't go into detail. We were living in this small, I think this was the worst apartment. We moved, wait, no, we didn't move that much. Well, I moved from New York into the apartment my husband, well, he was my boyfriend at the time, picked when he moved from Nevada to Virginia. And we moved there. I started going to school. So we moved so wouldn't have to take a long commute to the school. Then we stayed there. COVID hit, and then he got reassigned. I moved to Connecticut with my husband at that point, and we moved into a small apartment. So ever since every apartment we moved to has gotten smaller. This last one, which hopefully is the last apartment of my life, crossing fingers and whatnot. Um, it was what was it? It was the smallest, worst apartment. Like we were literally on top of each other. The cats didn't have room to zoom me, and we were miserable. We were arguing a lot, actually. I'll be honest with you. And then one day he turned to me and said, I don't see, we're close to home, close to our families, because Connecticut is like, not too far from New York. He's like, I don't see myself leaving here. And I'm like, no. He's like, but still. So he's like, I want a house. So I gathered our stuff, checked everything, checked our credit, well, my credit score, because, he's great. His credit score, I can't, when I think of all his misadventures, he has to be very responsible with money because his credit score is like sterling. Like I didn't even think it got that high. I'm like, what, how? See, that's what happens when you get into your 20s, you move out, and you don't have a full-time job. So anyhow, he had a full-time job all his life. So anyhow, I searched high and low for a house, got our paperwork, submit our paperwork, did all the legwork, most of the legwork, because he was working, and we found this wonderful house, and we've been living here for like a couple of months, 2 months, and it's really nice. It's quiet. It's really dark on the streets. There's no street lights. It is dark. We are in the burbs. It's spooky, and but I like it. It's quiet. It, like the kid in me who used to read like Fear Street, Goosebumps, what else? Fear Street, Goosebumps, Christopher Pike books is freaking out because this is the setting for that stuff. Um, so, but I'm getting used to it. Our neighbors are so sweet and lovely. It's been good, and my husband's happy, and I'm happy that he's happy. I never honestly saw myself living in a house. Um, I thought I was always going to be apartment girl, migrant. I only fantasized about having a really good job and like a career where I could go anywhere. I never thought of owning a home, having a family. Like I never thought of these things, and it's just interesting where you think you made these decisions in your life and you just end up somewhere completely different. What do they say? You make plans and God laughs. That's what it is. Anyhow, so I in the video, if you're watching the video instead of listening to me babble, I the Sterling Ink has these like little 2x2 calendars, and I usually use that calendar in the page after my makeshift calendar, the one I penned in just now, with like I put my goals underneath it. Um, that like 2x2 calendar in the Sterling Ink subscription box, and since I didn't have that, I had to use like this buoy washi calendar from like I think I got it from Amazon years ago. I'm surprised it's not ripping apart. And here I am trying to compare the little 2x2 calendar from Sterling Ink with what I just put down. This page this page on my setup is a mess. It's ugly. I hate it. But um I'll live with it. It is what it is. So I'm trying to decide how I'm going to decorate it, and I think I'm going to be all stylish and have things like have the tape go all the way up, but not all the way to the bottom. Like I think I'm being creative, and it looks a hot mess, but it's my hot mess, and I'm okay with it. I'll live with it. I'll get used to the page, and or we'll cover it up. In the original recording of me doing this, I thought to myself, I said out loud, like, I think I may tape up the pages together. I've never done that before. I never taped up the pages in my bullet journal. I just kind of like accept the mistake, which is really hard for me. Uh, you know how easy your life could be if you just accept your mistakes, like forgave yourself and just moved forward? Huh. Ooh. That felt real deep. Like you say something, you're like, you ever say something astute to yourself? Well, I'm talking to y'all, but you say something astute and you're like, oof. You feel it in your gut, like you punched yourself. Like that's how I feel just now. Like how easier would my life be if I just accepted my own mistakes, forgave myself, and just kept going? I should treat my life like I treat my bullet journal with neglect. Um, anyhow, so I am putting down the washi. Again, that washi was from, I believe, the September subscription box, which is still available on Sterling Ink. I am not an affiliate at all. I just am a fan. I love it. There's some people who complain that um, Sterling Ink has the same kind of like stuff, like it's always flowers. Mm, maybe, but they are beautiful. I mean, who cares if it's the same theme, if first off, I'm a earth baby. I'm a flower girl, tree hugging, hippie wannabe. Like, I love it. I think it's gorgeous and I never get sick of it. So here I am trying to be artistic and put down the washi crookedly, and I'm like, oh no, this is terrible. I'm having all kinds of regrets, emotional regrets. Um, but let's fast forward. So when I last left y'all, I feel real guilty about that. Like I really feel like I abandoned you guys. I put my head down and I just tried to finish that thesis. It ended up being 100 pages, and the formatting afterwards was rough. That took 3 months. I had to do an extension. I was supposed to graduate in May. Ended up graduating. I think my graduation date is July. I have to look at my diploma. And on top of that, we were trying to find a house, see properties. I was working full time, packing stuff. It it it's been a tough year. Uh I'm not trying to get sad or anything. It's not sad because, thank you, God, I survived. But whoa, or I'm surviving. It's just when I look back on everything, I just had to like let certain things go to get through it. I mean, that's how I've always been. Like my friends I've known for years know that when Danny is going through something, she just disappears. It's not the best way. I fold in, I try to figure it out, I overanalyze, I second guess. Then I make a decision. Then I appear back like, "Hey, where have you been?" It's not like I'm fair weather. Like if somebody calls me and they say they need me, I'm there. But if I'm going through something, and that's not something you should do in a family, in a marriage, with friendships. Like it's not nice. And so I've been doing a lot of analyzing. I'm getting real deep. See, there I go again. There I go. This is supposed to be a lighthearted, happy bullet journal. Anyhow, let's get to the next page because I'm gonna get deep with it. I don't even know how I got there. Oh, I abandoned you guys. Yes, I feel bad about that. Yes, I absolutely do. I feel guilty. I missed you guys. I missed recording videos. I missed playing with stickers in my journal while I talk to you about life and stuff. And I miss answering your comments, which I need to get to because I saw that I have a few comments on the last video I posted and I still haven't checked. And it's like 3 days later. I am a jerk. I will get into it. But anyhow, let's talk about this page. So I do the traditional calendar bullet journal where it's like a vertical spread. Is it vertical? Do they call it vertical? Yes, vertical. Yeah, horizontal is horizon. So anyhow, so I put the day of the month and the corresponding date on the left, put a line to divide, and that's how I set up my calendar. Since the video was going kind of long, I didn't record like actual planning, meaning I didn't put in specific dates of things coming up. Like next week, my husband and I are going to Florida. We were supposed to meet up with his uncle, one of the few family members I have not met yet, but unfortunately, his wife is ill and they had to cancel. So but there's a whole bunch of dates. My husband's birthday is on the 14th, and my in-laws are coming to see the house on the 17th. Like I have a whole bunch of stuff to plan, but I didn't plan it in this video. So, um, but I'm just writing out the calendar uh to keep track of that stuff. And I thought I would hate a vertical calendar. I never really liked the look of it when I looked at bullet journal spreads or the classic writer Carol bullet journal spread, but I've learned to appreciate it because one, my life isn't that busy anymore since I've um, completed my degree. So I find myself with plenty of space to write things that I need to keep track of appointments and whatnot. Um, so it actually does work. I didn't set up my dailies in this video at all, because technically we're in still the same week of, like, I'm gonna continue what I started the last week of November, if that makes sense. So I didn't record my dailies in this video. I just, this next page after my vertical monthly is going to be a tracker where I am going to track my pretty much my coping skills. And my coping skills or coping mechanisms are, well, it's a thing that I learned through therapy when I was seeing my missed therapist in Virginia. She, there are things you do, in case you didn't know, coping skills, coping mechanisms are things you do to, I guess, self reflect, to emotionally check in, mentally and spiritually, whatever, check in, and to regulate your moods and vibes and whatnot. So I have several because I always do the most. I always do the most. So I track, well, here I am. I set up a key where I put the first initial of the skill, and I put that horizontally at the top of the page. And then vertically, I'll put the day and date of the month of December. And so I track prayer, journaling, affirmations, uh, gratitude, strength training, which I started doing more regularly, running, yoga, meditation, and healthy eating. Um, did I miss anything? I'm just checking my journal. Meditation, yoga, running, strength training, gratitude. Yeah. So these are what I consider my coping skills. And it's not like so if I run, I'm not gonna strength train, so I'm not doing the most. Like I'm not gonna overexert myself because my knees will not have it. My knees will say no. You are 41. Calm yourself. But I try to at least do the emotional mental stuff like prayer, journaling, affirmations, and gratitude. So I let's say the plan is to alternate strength training and running, but I will practice yoga every day because it never hurts to stretch and breathe. Meditation is also sitting still, doesn't hurt. And healthy eating because I, food is fuel. As much as I have treated, so the way I was raised, I'm getting deep again, but I guess it was the culture that, my parents immigrated from Haiti. There wasn't much food between multiple siblings. And so they really considered American abundance and they would give me huge plates of food as a child. And I would have to eat every single last piece of rice and bean off the plate, or I couldn't get away from the table. And it was kind of a punishment. And somewhere down the line, I interpreted food as punishment and or reward. And when you complicate that with, like, frankly, an addictive personality with overcorrection and bad prescribed medication, it led to a binge eating disorder uh, to the nth degree. And so I'm not cutting out foods. Like I'm not gonna. I had Oreos last night, but I kept within reason. And I recognize that since I stopped taking my meds um, recently, I don't crave sugar or punishment or reward from food. It literally is fuel to me. And I find myself being more intuitive. And that's only working for me. I'm not saying that's for everybody. Sometimes you need medication and there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we all need help. Most of the time we all need help. I mean, humanity is a community as much as I want to be antisocial and I hate people. So how did I get here? Yeah, so healthy eating. So I try to stick to like my meal preps, my meal planning. eating mixed vegetables, healthy grains, whole food as possible. But I am always going to have my sweets because I have a loves cheesecake. Hello. The last part of my December setup. This is so awful. I'm so bad at this. I'm gonna get better. I promise. Anyhow, I'm taking the vellum from I think the September description box, and I just use my book to measure it out. Take the paper cutter and tip it in, and that's pretty much how I end my setup. It's really simple. I have um, the monthly tracker, the goal list, which is usually the same. I didn't fill it in this video. Vertical, monthly, and a monthly tracker. And then tip in the vellum and start the week. Start my weekly spread with like a to-do list, task list, appointments, and then dailies. So, I mean, it's really simple. Part of me thinks I should have kept the original audio, but I think I got too deep with it and too ranty, and I don't want to scare y'all. I am very intense. Oh boy. And I don't want to scare y'all. I like y'all. Do you like me? No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Don't answer that. So I'm gonna tip this in, and I use my ruler. I take like Scotch tape. I mean, there are plenty of tip-in videos out there. I am winging it most of the time. I don't do a great job. I'm using my ruler because I try to line it up with the lines. Like it's a whole mathematical thing that I'm not gonna get into. But ultimately, I appreciate y'all for listening to me ramble. I didn't want it to be rambly, but it ended up that way, so that sucks. That sucks for y'all, and it sucks for me too. Anyhow, so that's my setup. That's how I keep my bullet journal pretty simple. I'm still journaling and journaling prayers, gratitude, and affirmations I write in the back, and I keep all my planning and stuff in the front. I found myself being more consistent in November because I did the setups ahead of time, and I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm going to do create like weekly so I don't have to draw it out. But I look forward to incorporating my Sterling Income and Planner. I just have to figure out how I'm going to do it. Will it replace my bullet journal? It depends. I am a one book heifer, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see how I'll use the daily pages. We'll see. But yeah, I am wrapping up because there's like a couple of minutes left in this video. It's really weird to do a voiceover because you can see how much time you have left and you don't want to end the video too early because then you have to put in music and music is whack. Then you want to end up too late because then you have to cut your outro. I share too much. I do. But I'm doing well. I hope you guys are doing well too. I didn't even ask how y'all are doing. I hope you all are well, staying strong, keeping your head up. Remember that you are loved and cherished and appreciated, whether people say it or not. They do. Because we're all necessary, we're all needed, and we're all loved. I honestly believe that. I'm getting mushy. Why am I getting mushy? I don't know. Probably that time of the month. TMI. There I go again. Anyhow, so I'm gonna get going. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do as you deem fit. Remember to question everything except your instincts. And I will be sure to catch you on the flips. Bye.